Hello everyone, Wolf here. So it seems that there's some confusion about Baldur's Gate 3 and what type of game it is. And it's kind of understandable because there's some people are just picking it up because it's a popular game and they're not doing any research whatsoever on it. People saying like this game is way too random. It focuses on random dice rolls, and my character never hits. There's situations in the game where you make a decision where all your characters can die, and this game's terrible. This game, it's not tactical whatsoever, and they say how they played all these tactical RPGs, and they're used to JRPGs. And there's a thing that they don't realize about this is that Baldur's Gate 3 is a Dungeons and Dragons game. Baldur's Gate, the series, is a Dungeons and Dragons game, and it focuses on the rule sets of Dungeons and Dragons. So you get into this game not understanding that, and there's a lot of thought that goes into it. This doesn't work like a lot of RPGs. While it maybe Baldur's Gate 3 might be a tactical RPG, it's still, you have, at the end of the day, you have to put into consideration that it's a Dungeons and Dragons game. So let's address the confusion that people seem to have, and not understanding that, it's a Dungeons and Dragons game, and that it's not completely random. There's several factors that go into knowing what your dice rolls are going to be and what dice rolls you need to have, right? You have to take in consideration what monsters you're fighting. Are they immune to a certain type of damage? Because if something's immune to pierce, you're not going to hit. If something is immune to magic, you're not going to hit. It does. The monsters you're fighting have high armor. Do you have to lower the armor first? Do you have to put them use things like sleep? Use things like paralyze. They're very, very important. They will up your hit chance. Because guess what? If something's laying on the ground, falling fast asleep, the chances of you missing it is going to be a lot less than something that's actively trying to dodge you. I mean, if something's laying on the ground, it's literally laying right there. If you can't, if you still can't hit at that point, I don't know what to tell you. Other than the fact that you're probably using wrong damage or using the wrong class, right? And like people say that there's no tactics, well, how's it tactical when you have to put in consideration party and stats and weapons? That's not tactical whatsoever. It's like, what do you mean it's not tactical? What games have you played? People saying that, I played a lot of JRPGs and I played other tactical games and they're nothing like this. And it's like, well, I don't know what you played, but other RPGs are a lot more simpler. But even something like Fire Emblem, you're not going to build a whole party of warriors and hope to win. So it's like, it's definitely a tactical decision when it comes to your party. You're not going to build a party all thieves. You're not going to build a party of all mages. You might try for fun, but good luck getting through when you get to something that's immune to the damage you're trying to use. If you are using the right weapons. As much as short swords do have their advantages, there's monsters that are immune to pierce. So it's like, that's something you have to put into consideration. And then people say, there's parts in the story where you can make a decision and everyone just dies. Yeah, that's just the thing. It's a highly story-focused game because that's just how Dungeons and Dragons isn't your, it has a lot to do with your story, and the combat is a part of it too. But a lot of it, right, is making decisions. A lot of it is rolling the dice to make decisions and having the proper stats to actually pass them dice rolls. Again, it's not random. It's not random if you have to do an intellect check. Because guess what? If you're trying to trick someone, if you're trying to use your intellect to outwit someone, but your intellect is 5, you're not going to pass, now are you? You need to have a high intellect level to actually pass the dice roll. That's another thing to put in consideration. If you have the proper stats, the lower number you're gonna need to roll to actually pass. And the higher stats are, you can, like you roll a d20, you hit 20, that's a critical success. I mean, you can have something even better happen than was normally gonna happen. There's success, you have your success rate, then you have critical success, then you have failure and like critical failure, depending on how high you roll or how low you roll, or what your stats are. So it's like, the people that don't understand Baldur's Gate 3, take some time and go look in the Dungeons and Dragons. Or maybe if you're not interested that much into Dungeons and Dragons, and you're not don't quite understand the math and stuff, and you don't want to get into that, just play in story mode, because the game can still be enjoyed in story mode. You don't have to play hard on everything. And the people that think that you have to play it on insane difficulty in every single game, well, this game's so hard, you're playing on insane. This is your first time ever playing a Dungeons and Dragons game, first time playing any form of Baldur's Gate game or whatever, and you're playing on insane and wondering why you're not doing any well. You just build a party of all fighters. Why is your thief in your class have such high intellect and and have no dexterity? But anyways, I hope that kind of explains it for people that didn't understand. It might not be a ton of people that understand, but you have to take into consideration that, Baldur's Gate 3, for a lot of people, first ever Dungeons and Dragons game that they played, because the original games came back out in the 90s. I believe the first one was in 97 or something like that. It's been over 20 years since the last game came out, so there's a reason. And unless you consider the enhanced editions they brought out, the enhanced editions of 1 and 2, and they added the expansions to that. But outside of that, it's been a long time since the last game. So a lot of people that are getting the Baldur's Gate now, you get the younger generation trying to get into it, and they might not understand it. So anyways, I hope everyone has a great day. I hope you're all doing well, and if you like this video, subscribe, whatever you want to do, doesn't matter, and have yourself a really great day.